being gay, and that's an entirely new chapter. So, the first thing that we're going to talk about is how to pleasure a woman. So, who here is a guy? Who here is male? Raise your hand, or
Me.
like, okay,
Me.
you. I got
Me.
that already. Is anyone here female?
Me.
Okay. I apologize if what I say is inaccurate. I'm going to do my best to stay true to what is real and what is accurate. So please forgive me if I say something that may not be true. I'm trying my best, okay? So I'm going to explain you guys the vagina and how to pleasure the vagina. Give me a sec. This person keeps on stealing my thing. I think I might just block them. They don't deserve my time.
Can we kick him?
Yeah, let's kick this person because they just keep interrupting. They're pretty retarded. So, okay, this is the vagina, right? So the first thing I'm going to talk about, yeah, just fucking kick this person. Kick that person.
Teacher.
Yes.
Teacher. This vagina.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
too
teaching it,
innocent.
okay? Just give me a couple minutes. All right. So, vagina. Does anyone know anything about the vagina? Anyway,
Me.
please, this is very adult themed stuff, and
Me.
do not do any of this stuff until you're 18, okay? Just I want to be very clear with that. This is to help you be safe and be happy in your life. Anyway, so we're going to talk about having sex. So a lot of sex is step by step. It's not it's not just you don't just penetrate, okay? It's I am straight. I'm not gay. I'm not bi. I'm just straight, right? When you have sex with a lady, you have to be, it's a step, it's a process, okay? We're going to talk about fingering, then we're going to talk about fucking, then we're going to talk about finishing, okay? Those are like the 3 Fs, all right? Fingering, fucking, finishing. So let's talk about fingering. So before any sex, you make out. It's normal. To a woman, making out with someone is actually a very good turn on if you're a woman. It's really nice. It's like sensual. It shows you care, all that emotional stuff. If you're having sex with someone, it's very important to be sure that you start off slow, okay? Unless it's really hot and heavy, then you'll kind of go. Or if you know the person for a long time, then penetration can be good. But I always recommend, if you've met this person for the first time, it's very important to just start with kissing and hugging and talking and asking this lady, how's her day, all stuff like that. It's really important. First base, exactly. Really good addition. So we're going to talk about fingering. So the vagina is a very sensitive area. If you didn't know, it's really sensitive, and there is ways to pleasure the vagina. First thing is just touching it. So trying to give the best. Can you stop pressing that button, please? Okay, so
all these virgins gathered around.
when you are pleasuring a lady, this is going to help you guys avoid STDs.
Excuse
so I
me?
think this is actually important for you guys to learn.
We have the education about sex right now.
Yeah,
Could you
I'm
stop
doing that.
interrupting?
Anyway,
So,
so okay, guys, calm down. We're gonna talk about fingering. So, when you finger someone, you don't even have to have their pants off to pleasure a woman with the vagina. You just have to be able to touch it. So if they have jeans on, or they have like stretchy pants, or some like some clothing there, that's okay. That's totally fine. You can touch it. You can touch it.
That's
and
okay.
It'll start to react. Okay, does that make sense? So you don't immediately have.
Question. Can I ask a question?
Yes,
I have a
Dad.
question. Do you use the front hand or the back of the hand?
Great question. We'll go to the logistics of the hand. So actually, first off, your fingernails should always be clipped if you're fingering a lady. Never have long fingernails.
This dude's
Always
asking
clip your fingernails,
questions.
always keep them clean. Because if you're
If I
fingering a
bite them
lady,
so they're really jagged, is that okay or is that
don't
dangerous?
do that, Dad. We don't want to do that. So if you
What if
nick,
she's into it?
the worst thing is if you're fingering a lady and you nick her with your finger fingernail, that's really painful. And they don't like that. So always keep your shit trimmed. I keep my fingernails like pretty nice. And then it just leads to a better time in the end. So once you kind of get the feeling and then you're like, okay, we're going to have sex, you then will proceed to do a couple things. There could be a couple routes that you could take. It's like a skill tree, all right? So like there's different routes that can happen. So you can like, okay, you start making out. That's probably like here. So you like start making out and then you're like, okay, how horny am I? Right? Like, do I want to fuck? Do I want to take it slow? Do I want to just talk? Or do you want to shower? All right, so there are different parts of these ones. So, fuck. Yeah, you're really horny. You just want to stick your dick in something. That's totally fine. That's very passionate. That's totally cool. You can do that. Slow. So that's what we were talking about, the fingering part. So if you want to have sex, but you want to enjoy it and you want to take your time, definitely being slow about it is really important. And it means a lot, especially to a girl, because girls are way different than guys. We're very, when guys have sex, it's all about the orgasm. We don't really take too much time, like beating around the bush, unless we care. But you guys are gentlemen, so you should care. It should be important. That's fine. You can totally disagree with me. I'm giving what I know from countless times. So talking, you don't have to have sex, all right? You can just talk. Sometimes she's emotional and she gets home from work and it's really awkward and you're like, hey, I'm a horny, but let's fucking talk about it, like how your day was. You can't have sex every night. It's not going to happen, all right? And don't expect it to.
I do.
Maybe you just want to shower together and stare at each other when they're naked. That's totally cool too. Doesn't mean you have to have sex. When I was dating my girlfriend I dated a girl for a year. We would shower every day and we would just talk and we would sit in the shower together and we would just talk about our day. And it was probably one of the most productive relationships I've ever had because you were able to sit down with someone and talk about their day completely naked. There's nothing on the board and it was actually really, really cool. But it was after I knew her for a month. Okay, so it's not like it happened straight out. So I wouldn't recommend, that path. I wouldn't recommend that path until you know the person for a while.
Would you go out with me?
I see that.
Anyway, so let's go back to the fingering thing. So let's say, okay, you meet this girl for the first time. You want it to be special. You want to finger this lady. All right, that's totally cool.
This is an important part.
So you'll start with touching, right? Then you'll move on to taking your pants off. So let's say you two are naked now, and you're.
Yes.
All right, get muted, buddy. So.
Get muted.
So you start with sticking your finger in, and you don't. All it takes is one finger. It takes nothing more. You can pleasure a woman fairly well with just one finger, if you know what you're doing. So the vagina. Just start with, just touching. It's good. You can grab them. Vaginas are very, they're pretty resistant. It's pretty interesting actually. You can tug on them, and it's actually can feel good if you do it the right way. But if you do it the wrong way, it's not good. So there are 2 points inside the vagina that give out pleasure. Okay. So I'm gonna fucking mute you because Jesus fucking Christ.
They're kidding.
All right. So the Jesus fucking Christ. Give me one sec. Like this guy's. It's that one guy. All right, there we go. Okay, so the vagina, it has 2 points of pleasure inside it. It has one that's up, and it has one that's down. All right. So if you're going slow, and you don't want it to feel like it's fucking, you essentially will hit that 1 point that's up here. So you'll take your finger, which is clipped, that you've taken care of, and you'll put it up, and you'll kind of start putting it in upwards, being very gentle, and you'll feel this little point up in there. That's a very good feeling. You'll start with one finger. You shouldn't just because this is a slow process. It's nothing quick. But this point up here is a really good stimulation point, and it's great for starting because it doesn't feel like fucking to a woman. Down here, if you're looking, in the vagina, and you put your finger down
Yeah, he muted me too.
like this, if you switch to, hold on, there we go. If you switch to two fingers and go down, right, that is when it starts to feel like sex for the woman. Okay, so putting it like that is when it starts to feel like a dick for her. Okay, so here, let me mute this person.
好帅啊，这个大佬。嗯，
This guy's
看那个
这
guy's
，stepping
还
out
一
to
分
left
钟
right
没
now.
解说新版本的。
Sorry,
A lot
but
of
this guy's
lot of people I have
so
to
block him.
mute today,
Not even actually live.
so I can focus on you guys. Okay, so I'm gonna try and finish this out for you guys because I know it's taking a long time, and I appreciate you being patient with me. Regardless, once you put it down there, that's when it starts to feel really pleasurous, and you can make a woman orgasm just with your two fingers down here if you know where to put it. You'll feel there's a small little point down here. You'll feel it. It feels very good. I've practiced. I know it's just takes a little bit to get used to, but once you get it, it'll be kind of like your go-to for stimulation. If you don't want to stick your dick in something, which is fine.
What did I just join into?
I don't know, but you can listen if you'd like. We're talking about how to stimulate a lady with fingers. But anyway, so now that you've stuck your fingers in here, right, your two fingers, you can go and then you can switch, and you can go like this, or you can go like this. Woo! You can go down. Don't try and switch it too much though, because then you're just feels like you're flipping your hand inside their vagina. It doesn't feel good. So, anyway, so at this point, you're probably pretty turned on. You're probably pretty hard, right? That's just a normal guy thing. Or if you're a lady, that's maybe this could work for both of you. So, that's good too. But regardless, you're pretty hard. So now you want to penetrate. You want to start having actual sex. And that's totally cool. But there's a couple steps that we need to kind of talk about before we do that. Because you guys need to be safe, and I want you guys to make good decisions when you do. So, condoms. I cannot stress how important those are. It may not seem like it, but they are really important. If you go to college, every college that is a college will have free condoms available to any student. It's just a thing. I, at my college, have 20 free condoms a month, all right? I'm not kidding you. I've totally done it. I've done it twice now. Your doctors will as well, and so will your health departments at your school. So having a condom is easy, and it shouldn't be an excuse at all. You should be, if you know this lady, you don't meet some lady unless you're college level, which you should already have condoms per night. You guys are probably younger than that, I'm going to assume. So you wanna be prepared. Always have condoms. Super important, okay? Regardless, so put on the condom, and then it's very easy because remember, you already stimulated the vagina. So now that vagina is secreting a lot of lubrication, a lot of fluids inside that vagina. So that vagina is ready to be fucked, okay? It's very moist, and that's good because the vagina can create its own moisture, which is an amazing thing. So you have your condom on, you're safe, and then you can just kind of go to Pound Town, but you don't want to go too hard. So if you have a condom, it makes it harder for you to come. That's just a thing. Any person who's worn a condom knows that it doesn't make you more horny. It makes you less. When I would have sex, I would want to essentially I would want to put on a condom because I wanted to last longer. Because usually I wouldn't last as long as I wanted to,
Why would I need
so
a
I would
sex
wear
bed?
one, and then it would be awesome for both of us, and it was a great experience. Even though my girlfriend was on the pill, I wore a condom because I wanted to last longer, and I wanted her to enjoy the experience as well. Yep, it's totally normal. Because if you don't, sometimes you'll just you'll just ejaculate, and maybe it's too early, and then your partner doesn't get the full experience. So that is one workaround for that.
So, All Might, would you say this sexual advice is all for one?
Yeah, I would. No, it's one for all. It's between you and your partner.
Well, then if it's
so
one
not
for all, you're a
one.
whore.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, going on to, I'm gonna finish this all out. So you have sex, all right, and you ejaculate, and hopefully, if you're wearing a condom, you'll last longer. So maybe she'll feel better. And if you're steady and your thrusting is semi okay, then you should do fine. What? We'll get to that. Let me finish out the whole sex thing here. So you both have ejaculated, hopefully, if it's successful. And it doesn't mean is it's not successful if you don't. It just.
Oh,
Oh, okay. All right, just don't put my username on it. Anyway, so regardless, to finish it all out, you guys finish having sex. So the worst thing you could ever do is say, I'm sorry. That's the worst thing you could ever do after sex. Never say, I'm sorry, okay? Because that means that it didn't mean anything. And if you like this person, that's terrible. It's really awkward to say, I'm sorry. Can you not steal my pen? Thank you. Anyway, so you guys have sex, and you guys finish up, and then it's all good. But remember, some things you need to do is get tested, and you need to be ready. So just be tested, be safe, wear condoms. I can't stress this enough, and don't say you're sorry after. Also, be smart about it. If some lady doesn't, if you're having sex with a lady and she says, oh, it's okay, you don't have to wear a condom, put on a condom. I cannot stress that enough. Because if she lets you put your dick in it, that means that she let other people put their dick in her. So that means you have a very exponential chance of getting STDs. It's really dangerous, and you shouldn't do that. Does that make sense? I hope I've explained this fairly good on why you should be safe and why you should wear condoms. Because the last thing you want is genital warts or something gross that doesn't feel good. Okay. Are there any questions? Any burning questions you have for how to have sex safely? I hope I've done an okay job.
Also, both parties involved need to be fully consenting.
Very
It
educational.
must be a mutual desire and not one pressuring the
I have a
other.
question.
The last thing you want to do is
Yeah.
traumatize someone.
How to prevent STD?
How to prevent STDs? The best thing you can ever do is wear a condom.
Oh,
Or not have sex at all.
Make sure it's not
Yeah,
ripped.
abstinence is the best way to not is 100% pregnancy, non-pregnancy.
Prevention.
100%.
Prevention.
100% prevention. Yeah, that's the word. Hell yeah.
100%.
Don't poke
You're 100% pregnant if you don't have sex.
what? I know.
Wait, sex makes
Any
babies
questions?
what?
Why don't you speak?
I'm glad I could
tell
help
you,
you
I'm not
guys.
from America, okay?
Oh.
We
Yeah.
don't happen that a lot.
Oh yeah. How to not be a virgin. This is a good one. I think you guys could really use this information.
I'm actually a dragon.
I've had sex with multiple women. I've
It's easier
been around the block.
You're in my garage.
Okay.
It's easy to be a slut. It's hard to be a player. All right. That's the
Yes.
first thing. Regardless, if you're a guy, what you need to be is you don't need to be too pushy. Being too pushy will get you nowhere unless you're really fucking hot. And I doubt any of us are really fucking hot just by gauging the room. But
I'm
regardless,
fucking hot.
That's one of the things. What?
Yikes.
If you're
Yeah. I'm not too keen on stalking people.
Yeah.
I'm just
yeah,
here.
me
I'm
neither.
here to help you guys.
Yeah, me too.
Any other questions?
It's alright, and this class is for you.
Yeah, me
question.
neither. Wink,
It's
wink.
a sex ed
You-
class. It's for you.
Any other questions? I hope I've. Has anyone have any problems with what I said? Does anyone think that what I've said is inaccurate?
I don't know what you said. Can you start all over?
Yes.
No, it's
No. No, I cannot.
Oh.
You
oh, I
missed
get
the
it.
seminar. Sorry, buddy.
Come on.
I missed. Oh, okay.
Great.
Long story short, though, wear a condom.
I'm a
Get
sexual
tested. Oh, also, whenever
more,
you start
one
whenever you start a relationship with someone, I did
Yeah,
this with
remember
my
guys-
girlfriend. We
Yeah,
both got
yeah, listen.
tested,
They
One
got
more
tested,
question.
guys.
That's
You
good.
hear that? They got no. Listen. They got
and I'm
tested.
clean. I know for a fact I'm
He's
clean.
clean,
And being able to
guys,
say
he's
that you're
clean.
clean is so good. It's
Yeah,
so
it's
such a nice
good.
thing.
Guys, you hear that?
Okay,
hey, you hearing that? Hey.
Teacher,
Living recommended.
teacher, all right.
I'm gonna make,
All right. I have question.
Damn it.
Yeah, I
How
have
can
an
you
answer.
tell a person has a STD or not?
No.
That's a really that's kind of a hard one. So so here's the thing. There are a couple things you can do. You'll never have to worry about it if you put on a condom. So if you're having sex with a woman and you're wearing a condom, you don't have to worry regardless. And if you spend more time with her and you keep wearing a condom, you'll learn about it regardless, and you won't have to do that.
I didn't one time.
You can see there are some that you can see, and there are some that you cannot see. AIDS is one of those that you cannot see, which is given by sex or by blood. Regardless, you can also not see some forms of herpes. So cold sores in your mouth, those ones are really pesky. If I kissed a girl right now and she had herpes, I had a very large chance of catching that herpes, and I wouldn't even see any cold sores on her mouth. Yeah, what's up? No, you can't get pregnant on VR. Sorry, buddy. Yeah. So
By the way,
So the
you
best
should
way to
emphasize
avoid that.
consent as well as how